Okay, so I'm really excited to be here today and talk about everything to do with emotion and really tapping into the specific research that you need to run in order to uncover emotions and increase your conversions and CLV. So when we actually think about customer lifetime value or retention, our minds often kind of wander straight into tactics. So too often the discussion around CLV is about, I guess, multiple, what is the simplest, quickest tactic that I can get done to get people to purchase again? And that's kind of where our brains go to. But it's so much more than that. And we've been hearing this, all day today. You see, you're not just trying to get that second purchase, you're trying to change your customers' buying habits, and you want to connect with them on a deeper level and establish a relationship. Now, to try and figure these things out, we kind of revert to what we know best, right? We know behavioral data, most of us. We look at Google Analytics, geographical location, age, gender. We look at browsers, devices, and we feel confident because we have this said data, and we just look at those numbers and we think about those tools and heat maps and automation and machine learning, anything we can get our hands on to segment and categorize our customers by that data. But we've forgotten that behind those screens are actual people and not devices. And we've somehow convinced ourselves that this data is enough. Now, we've run at GetUplift thousands and thousands of A/B tests at this point. A lot of them are to do with increasing retention for our customers. And what we've seen over and over again is that this data is just not enough. It tells you it tells you where the problem is. It tells you where in the funnel things aren't working, but it doesn't tell you the why. If you want to truly increase your CLV or retention, whatever you want to call it, you must identify why people really buy from you, the real why. You have to actually understand, and it went out, gone. Aha. You have to really understand how your customers make decisions. Now, this is how most of us think people make decisions, right? We look at it, we think, okay, people have a very specific methodology of making decisions. We've taught this way. Somehow we've convinced ourselves that before someone buys any product or any service or software, we go through this elaborate process of thinking about the pros and the cons and what makes sense and what doesn't. When in fact, scientists have proven over and over again that people do not make decisions this way. This is not how people buy. We don't go through this rational decision-making process and then arrive on a conclusion. What we do is we make decisions on emotion. Everything we buy in life is based on emotion. There's an emotional reason to it. There's a real intent. We don't buy features. We don't buy technology. We don't buy pricing. What we buy is how a product makes us feel, how we're going to change by buying this product, whether if it's going to make us feel more secure, maybe if it's going to increase our self-confidence, it's going to make other people think better and different things about us. We buy on emotion. And our brains are quick and intuitive and sharp, and we make that emotional decision. And later on, we kind of rationalize it and explain to ourselves why we actually make that decision. Now, this isn't just me. Countless of professors and researchers and neuroscientists have proven this, including Antonio Damasio, which is my favorite example of really a professor of psychology and neuroscience who ran an amazing experiment on people that have brain damage. And these people went about their regular lives, but the only thing that they had a problem with their brain damage was they couldn't feel any emotion. That was it. And that's a huge thing, because what he uncovered was that while they could live a normal life, they had one very big issue. They couldn't make any decision. I'm talking not even what sandwich to have, no decisions at all. They had to have other people make those decisions for them, because without emotions, there aren't decisions. And the reason I'm telling you this today is because ultimately, if we know that emotions affect decisions, decisions affect conversions. They're going to affect if someone buys from us, if they buy from us again and again. And of course, they affect our revenue. So what's really important for us to understand is if you're going to try and figure out why do people buy from you, you have to step away from the behavioral data, which you still need, but you need to step away from it and start looking at who your customer is. And you have to stop talking about the product itself, what it is and how it works. And you have to start thinking about the why, because no matter what you're selling, what people really care about isn't the what, it's the why. What's in it for me? How is it going to make my life better? What better version of myself am I buying? So when you're thinking about how am I going to increase conversions? How am I going to get more retention, get more people to purchase, keep them coming back, create this beautiful community, get people that love us? You actually have to collect much better data than just the segments that we were talking about before. You have to know who your customer is behind the screen. So here are the most important things that you have to know, the data that you have to collect about your customers. And if you know the answers to these, it makes it so much easier to actually increase conversions, increase CLV, and get people to keep coming back and back. So number one is, what pain does my customer feel before finding a solution? What are their emotional triggers that drive their decision-making process? What are their hesitations and concerns? And finally, one of the most important ones, how do they want to feel after finding a solution? If you know the answers to these questions, you will know what copy to write, what emails to send. You'll know the cadence. You'll know what pains to touch on your product pages, on your sales pages, in your email sequences, everything. It would just be a lot easier for you to optimize for that. So we're actually going to touch on that today. I want to walk you through a couple of case studies and how we actually do this. And I want to show you how to leverage meaningful customer research, basically leveraging emotion, tapping into emotion to increase CLV. This is Power Up Toys, a wonderful business that basically sells this amazing device that can turn anything into a plane. So this is an example of the plane that they sell, and you attach their device to it, and then you can fly it with your mobile app. But I mean, there's been people who have flown cabbages, Coca-Cola bottles, and many different other things. So it is a really cool thing. You could basically create a paper airplane and attach that little device and start flying it. And it's incredible. And what's really cool about this is really that when they contacted us, they said, you know, we've been driving high volumes of traffic to our website, but we're having a very hard time converting visitors into buyers. And they also had a few other problems, which one of them was a lot of people bought their first device and now they were relaunching a new one and they wanted to get more people to come back and buy the new one, right? So we're talking about an upsell. How do you convince someone in this entire funnel to buy the next product? Now, I asked them, what have they tried to increase conversions and to optimize their website for sales? And they said, you know, we tried reducing load time and adding an exit pop-up and changing the color of a call to action button and removing steps in the funnel and changing the headline, all these specific elements that they tried making changes to, which is essentially basically taking the control, what they had, the homepage, and saying, we're amazing, really, we are, this is fantastic, see this call to action, press here, and duplicating that page and just changing an element on it. And this is a big problem because ultimately what they did here is just change an element on the page. And conversion optimization isn't about changing elements on the page. Conversion optimization is about solving people's problems. So if you want to get to that point, you have to do this meaningful research. And that's what we did for Power Up Toys. We took a step back from testing different elements from what they were doing and conducted meaningful research. Now, obviously, at the end, we were able to increase conversions, and I'll show you how we did this. But what I want to walk you through today, specifically to Power Up Toys, is the two different pieces of research that we conducted that helped us get there. And you can do this tomorrow. It would be simple if you did this. So Step number 1, conducting meaningful customer surveys. So customer surveys, what I usually see within within e-commerce, which kind of makes it hard for me, is that on the website, it's usually, why have you come here today? Or it's how do you like our website? Do you like this product? All these questions that are usually about the website or the product and not really about the experience. I'm also talking here about customer surveys. Customer surveys is actually reaching out to your existing customers and asking them specific questions. And I am not referring specifically to, did you like the product? How was your experience in generic terms, but asking very meaningful questions. And I want to show you the questions that we asked Power Up Toys and their customers. So we asked their customers, what was going in your on in your life and day that made you search for Power Up Toys? When you weren't using this solution, how did you solve this problem? If you could no longer use Power Up Toys and you could never have this product again, what would you miss the most? And what's the number one thing you'd mention to a friend if you wanted to convince them to give Power Up Toys a try? Now, these are our go-to questions that we ask in almost every survey that we do, especially with e-commerce. And that's because when you ask what was going on in your life, it's not asking, why did you come to the website? It's asking them to tell us a story. What was going on? What triggered the search? What was happening that made you think, oh, I need to look for this? And what's cool about it is because when you have the answers to that, you can reflect that in your copy and you can say, hey, have you been experiencing this? Or the moment when you did this and this. So you can actually reflect that back to people. When you weren't using the solution, how did you solve the problem? So what's wonderful about this question is that when you get the answers to it, it's a lot of the times people think that they're going to reply about competitors. They're going to say, well, I was using this competitor, or I bought this type of device or this type of product. But what it actually helps you do is understand what are the things that didn't work for them or didn't match up or didn't feel right for them. And knowing that helps you again say, maybe you've tried this, maybe you've done this before, maybe you thought that this and this and this would help, but nothing has helped. Here's what will. The fact that you can reflect what they have gone through back to your customers is what creates that trust, builds a relationship, and makes people want to buy from you because they know that you understand them. If you could no longer use this solution, what would you miss the most? It's a wonderful question that I picked up from Else and Carl from AG Consult, which essentially, instead of saying, what's the best thing about our product? What do you like the most? You ask them, what's going to happen if I take this away from you? If you could no longer use this product or device anymore, how would you feel? What would be the biggest thing you miss? And those answers are actually the biggest value that they get from your product, because they're going to say, oh no, I would experience this, or I'd feel this way, or I would be missing out on this, or I'd really hate it because I now have to do this. So asking this question is a wonderful way to tap into your real value that you're basically offering. And lastly, when you ask them what's the number one thing they'd mention to a friend, you're getting their voice of customer, how they describe you and what they think is the best thing about you. And they're basically giving you a testimonial. So we did this for Power Up Toys and the answers were amazing. And I'm going to show you them in a minute. But what was great about this is that once we got the answers to the customer survey, we then did interviews. Because at this stage, what you want to do is to reach out to the most interesting people who answered your survey, those that you'd love to better understand, and invite them for a 30-minute call. The goal of these interviews is to go deeper and to collect their specific voice and to understand the why behind their decision, because that is what's going to help you to keep selling. If you can identify their pain, what is hurting them, constraining them, blocking them from going forward. And if you can identify what it is that they want to feel about themselves, what are their desired outcomes, then you can increase conversions and your customer lifetime value by providing that information and that support and that product to your customers. So most importantly, when it comes to interviews, my tip is always keep asking why until there are no whys left. It's not about asking more and more questions. It's enough to ask 2 or 3 questions and just keep asking why to go a little deeper. Because what we find is that people are really pretend to be rational. So if you ask them why they bought something, they're most likely going to say, well, I was looking for a present, or I was going to a wedding, or whatever, I really needed this today. They're not going to go to the deeper level, which is what we're looking for, the real emotional level. So if you keep asking why, you will uncover that. And let me show you an example. So for Power Up Toys, we asked them what was going on in your life that made you search for a solution like Power Up Toys. And basically, a lot of people said, I was searching for a present, something to do with my kids, something to do with my family. Now, this is where most interviews end, right? Most people are like, oh, cool, okay, it's a present. We should say, get your paper airplane as a present and you're done. When you actually keep asking why were you searching for a present? Or why were you searching for Power Up Toys, this kind of device for your kid to do with your kid? Then you get answers like this. I love DIYing and tinkering with products to make them work. I was excited to figure out how to make it fly. It took me back to my childhood when I was flying paper airplanes in the classroom. Or our oldest son loves paper airplanes. We had trouble finding the floor for all the planes he had made. This is what happens when you dig deeper. And it actually helped us, these answers, uncover 2 types of customers. Customer number 1 is the DIYers, the inventors, the ones that are happy with a product that is not fully baked. They aren't afraid of making mistakes, and they want to discover how the product works for themselves, and they want lots of guidance and lots of information, and they want to tinker with it forever. On the other hand, you have the hobbyists. The hobbyists, they want a fully baked product with clear step-by-step instructions and expect that if they could take it out the box, it would work as soon as it came out the box. These are 2 very different types of people. And the customer interviews helped us really realize this. And what it also helped us realize is that nothing on Power Up Toys website was speaking to either of those. And what we basically uncovered is something that's even harder. And this relates exactly and directly to retention and CLV. What was happening is that anyone that expected instant gratification would be disappointed because the product was half-baked. And what that means is that it had to be assembled and it needed to take time and you had to watch tutorials. This is the first product that they put out. It required a lot more time. And basically, the people that were buying this thought on the website, easy to use. They bought it and they were disappointed. The DIYers that were coming to the website thought, oh, it keeps saying it's easy to use. It's probably some stupid little thing and it's not going to be interesting. So I'm going to leave. And they thought it was a gimmick. And actually, when we did a post-purchase customer survey, what we found out, and see how hard this is. So the hobbyists were saying, it was harder than I expected. It was trickier than the video. I couldn't get it to work. My niece was disappointed. Like the worst feedback you would want to get as a company. The DIYers were saying, it's the crashes that teach you. Kept asking myself, how far can I push this? Wow, we did it. We spent hours and days trying to put it together. It was brilliant. 2 different customers, 2 different pain points, 2 different reasons to come to the website, and we were speaking to none of them. But now we have a product for all of them. If you are a DIYer, then great. You have a product that you can just buy. And if we say the right words and if we explain that this is for DIYers and tinkerers, they will buy it because until now they weren't buying it. Then we have the hobbyists. they can buy the new product. So we can upsell to them and tell them about the new product, reach out via emails and upsell and create a better relationship and create happiness and get loyalty back, which we weren't doing. So we do have a product for all of them. So what we did on the homepage, because the homepage is always a catch-all and it's always the hardest part of an e-commerce site, we created this header for the homepage. I won't share the whole thing. Power up your ideas with one of our lightweight yet powerful propellers. Explore the limits of aerodynamics by creating unique planes that push your creativity and our propeller to the limit. Or use one of our pre-designed models to start flying with friends in minutes. Explore our airplane. We focused on their specific customers. We spelled it out. We said, we've got this and we have this. Now, I know that a lot of people tell you, don't write copy, people don't read, but when you give them a reason, they will read. Now, you'll see that not just the copy changed, the design changed. Everything on the page in the header changed because we wanted to create a feeling. We wanted to show the outcome. People were coming to this website to get something to play with their grandchildren, with their kids, to build with their family. They wanted an experience. So showing the airplane itself wasn't doing anything, but showing a family, a grandfather and his grandson with the propeller did wonders because we focused on turning the copy and the design all working together, using emotion, using the right copy to describe exactly what it is that they're looking for, and created a powerful design that amplified that message. And we were able to increase sales by 97% and increase email signups by 10%, which was really important. 10 times, because that was really important because we knew that we had to do a lot of heavy lifting in emails. And that's exactly what we did. We created a series of emails that were sent out to different people where we would say, here's what you're going to learn. Here's how it works. Or my favorite one is, what do a lettuce, a potato, a toilet roll, and a bunch of recyclable materials have in common? Yep, we've made planes out of all of them. And we're always looking for new things to fly. Someone put their sandwich in, we did this GIF. It was really cool. But using these insights from the interviews and the customer surveys by simply speaking to people allowed us to optimize their emails to existing customers for upsells. It allowed us to write new emails for STEM students and teachers to convince them to come to the website and start purchasing and open a new kind of division, an industry that's coming to buy from them. It allowed us to optimize their lead nurturing emails and optimize post-purchase emails. And it actually increased the total conversions of email by 70% sales. So it really is just a testament to when you do meaningful research and you go beyond age and geographical location and you try to identify the pains and the desired outcomes, you can create better content and better copy, and you can create better emails and better landing pages and better product pages that will increase the whole funnel, not just conversions, but CLV, and increase retention. Now, there are many other ways that you can run meaningful research. You can look at stages of awareness. You can do social listening and review mining. All of these are in order to go beyond the numbers, looking for patterns. And what you want to look for is, what are their biggest concerns? What's keeping people up at night? What annoys them? How do they currently solve this specific pain? How do they want to feel after finding a solution? And if you can uncover that, you'll really get into being able to really increase conversions in CLV. The next thing you want to do is add emotion to your copy and your design. So we've identified emotional triggers, we've done the research, we've run meaningful research. Now what we want to do is add emotion to our copy and design. Here's another example from Upright, one of our clients. This is a device that they sell that helps you fix your posture. And what's amazing about it is that you place it on your back and you slouch and it basically vibrates and reminds you to sit up straight. It's phenomenal. I've tried it. I wear it all the time. I love it. And it's really helped my posture. When you look at their homepage, it just said, get upright to improve your posture, get the healthy posture you've always wanted. It's generic. It's not enough. when we did our research, we did customer surveys and interviews. What we uncovered was that there were 3 types of customers. And I'm not going to say customers because I'm not talking about personas. So I'll correct myself and say 3 types of pains that lead people to Upright's website. One of them is that they are sedentary. They are home office workers, people that spend hours in front of the computer and are developing bad posture as a result. The second type of people are really aware of their aesthetics. They have started noticing in photos that they're slouching, or people keep telling them that they're slouching, and they really want to improve their posture to look better, and they want to feel better about themselves, and they want other people to say that they look better, and it's more of a aesthetic thing. The third type of pain that drives people to Upright is literally pain. These are people who are actively trying to solve chronic pain in their back, in their neck, in their shoulders, in their knees. People that have really bad posture, have tried everything before, and really do want something that's going to work and stick. So what we did is basically create a bunch of different things. A new homepage. We tested a new homepage. We experimented on all product pages, on the product page themselves, on emails, and I'll show you what we did and how this relates to the research. So for the homepage, we created a couple of different messages and designs in order to really hone in on who this is for and what you're going to get out of it. So Upright, the simplest way to transform your posture, helping 750,000 people transform their posture. The biggest thing that we found as a hesitation and concern when we reached back and said, okay, what was the problem? Why haven't you worked on this before? Or one of the questions that we ask is, hey, how are you solving this problem before? What were you doing? A lot of people said they weren't able to. They forgot. They kept starting the day out thinking, okay, today I'm going to sit up straight and I'm going to fix my back and my posture will be good. But as the day went by, they started slouching and slouching. We all know it. We've all, going through COVID, we've all worked from home, and we know how slowly, as the day goes by, we stop thinking about it. So one of the main messages we wanted to get across was your poor posture isn't your fault, because there was so much shame. We went through thousands of testimonials and everyone was talking about how shameful and guilty they felt about their posture. So your poor posture isn't your fault, but there is something you can do about it. The idea is saying that you slouch because you forget not to. We all do. But Upright makes remembering easy by gently reminding you every time you stay bent over for too long. It makes sitting and standing better, unbelievably easy. So we took the research that we conducted and we were able to zero in on what are the pains that are driving people to the website, and then actually address them on the homepage. And that helped increase transactions by 33% and increase revenue by 25%. Now we did the same for product page optimization. So this was their previous homepage, product page, and we looked at it, the world's #1 posture trainer. That's not what people were looking for. So we said, transform your posture, eliminate pain, and build healthy habits that last. We said this because we knew that people were worried that it would just be a gimmick, it wouldn't work. So this is something that's going to help you for the long run. We changed the visual to be something that reflects who these people really are, because this doesn't. It reflects a person standing there. But when you have someone sitting in front of a screen and working, you're actually able to see how this works. And that helped us increase transactions by 27% and average order value by 10%. Next, we moved into email optimization, and we have a few different types of emails here. We did upsell, so basically trying to get people to go for the summer sale. We had leads that haven't bought before, and we were reaching out to them. We had lead nurturing sequences where we were actually trying to create a community around and get them to be involved in kind of a membership place. And we had the people that had already purchased, and we wanted to upsell them on different accessories and maybe persuade them to buy these products for their friends and their family for different holidays. So we started writing different emails and sending them out and leveraging those specific points. For example, in our welcome email, which is the one on the far left, we actually tell the story of the founder. who this person was and why he built the product, which was for his mother, because his mother suffered from really bad back pain. And we just get into that story and connect on an emotional level. This isn't a just, here, buy this, buy this, buy this. This is the first email that they get. And it's a really long letter of just explaining how the founder and CEO really wanted to help his mum to find relief from the severe pain that she was going through. And we did this with various different emails. Remember those New Year resolutions you made? Well, there's still time for you to transform your posture, feel healthy, and finally rid yourself from back pain and neck pain and get results like that, basically like this. And we put in different kind of testimonials. And the idea here is that we recognize that a lot of people start the year off and say, this year we're going to work on this. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to get this. And they don't do it. So we created all these different emails to help them connect with their customers and increase those conversions and increase CLV and get more people to sign up, more people to convert and upsell people and keep them in the funnel to create this relationship and really convey a story to them that this isn't just someone trying to sell you a device, but there's a family behind this. iPhone Life is a membership program, and what they do is they help people learn how to use their Apple devices. Now, it's a free service. It's a free blog where you can sign up and get daily tips every single day, one tip a day that tells you how to optimize, how to use your iPhone, your Mac, your iPad to the best limit. And this was their website, obviously, and they were trying to basically get a lot of subscribers to their email list. And what we did when we did our research is we realized that there were three types of pains that were leading people to iPhone Life. Number one, first I'll say that most of these people are boomers, so they're all in kind of an older age, and they were feeling three types of pain. Number one, they were tired of asking their family members for help all the time with their phones, with their printer, with their computer, with their iPads, and waiting around to be saved. And they always felt like they were just a nuisance on their family. The other type is that they wanted to show off to their friends that they know stuff that other people don't know. And lastly, they wanted to feel confident and they wanted to feel that they can use their products. So we started creating these various different pop-ups that really focused on that language. Learn how to work your iPhone faster, 1-minute tips that teach you something new every day. Discover iPhone features you didn't know existed. Discover your iPhone's hidden features. Or these emails help me use my iPhone more effectively instead of researching for hours on my own. We leveraged testimonials. We leveraged their language in order to increase signups. And in 1 year, we increased their signups by 42%. We did the same for upsells. So iPhone Life basically also offers membership for people where they want to get videos and help and lots of different courses. And it's a really amazing membership called Insider. And this was the landing page they were using, Master Your iPhone. So they were sending emails to people to convert them and upsell them to Insider. And we basically ran a test on the sales page, created something that showed the person, the actual person that was buying it, spoke about what they're trying to do, which is mastering everything their iPhone can do, talked about what they were actually going to get, and leveraged all that research into, we know that this is what you want to do. We know this is how you want to feel. Here's how you can feel if you would enroll, if you become a member with Insider. And that helped us increase their sales by 21%. And I just want to show you for a last example, with all the emails that we did, leveraging that research, we were able to optimize their opt-in emails, their cart abandonment, sales sequences, renewal emails, welcome, all these things that we talk about when we think about CLV. We think about, okay, we need all these emails, but then we start shooting these boring emails of buy this, buy now, buy now. When we don't actually leverage language and messaging that our customers care about, we don't tell a story, we don't tap into their emotional triggers and talk about what's in it for them. We're just talking about what's in it for us. We're just trying to get them to click that buy button. And if you were to go beyond that and start looking into your customer's perspective and start looking into what they care about, what they're trying to get out of every day with their iPhones, for example, you can create a much better experience and something that works together. So I wanted to give you, just before we finish today, a few headline formulas, a few copy formulas that you could use in different ways that would leverage emotion and would leverage the research you conduct. So here's an example of a great headline: get rid of frustration or pain once and for all. So essentially we're saying, if you identify the biggest frustration and pain that they have, you could use this as a headline on your product page or on your homepage, or as a subject line. So as an example, get rid of severe anxiety, which is the pain, when doing your taxes once and for all. Goodbye complicated, unreadable spreadsheets. Hello, automated reporting. Finally, eliminate back, neck, and shoulder pain once and for all. Here's another one. The only solution, that's the name of your product, made exclusively for most desirable emotional outcome. For example, the only presentation software made exclusively to make you look like a pro designer. For a meal delivery service, so selling actual meals, we know HelloFresh and all those wonderful brands, the only meal delivery service made exclusively to bring the most healthy and fresh food to your doorstep. Apple device membership program for Insider, the only membership program designed exclusively to help you master your iPhone and do what others want. Tapping into those specific things. Then we have adding emotion to your copy. So I want to quickly, to wrap up, give you a copy formula, which is something that will help you when you're thinking about writing your product pages. For example, if you're writing emails and you want to get people to buy something. So instead of rushing into, here's the product, buy it now, a countdown timer, and the sale price, I want you to think about how you write this copy. So as an example, this is the formula I'm going to share with you today. You take the feature that you want to promote and you add the desired outcome for it, meaning what you're actually selling, that's the product, but what is the emotional outcome that they're going to get from it? And if you pair that and you use that when you're writing copy, then you can actually create a beautiful email that will upsell people. So a few examples, scripts for handling backtalk. This is for a course for parenting that we helped. Scripts for handling backtalk, the actual feature that they have scripts, and they wanted people to buy these scripts. But what we paired it with is the emotional outcome, to confidently and calmly handle any crisis. This is what people wanted to feel. So word for word scripts you can rely on to handle any crisis confidently, even during tantrums and stressful arguments. So it's taking the feature, what you're actually selling, and instead of just saying, buy this now for 20% off, you add the outcome, the emotional value. For a landing page builder, build faster landing pages. Great, that's something that you're selling without having to rely on developers. Never wait around for the dev team again. Build any page in less time than it takes to run a meeting about that page on your own. So when you're thinking about adding emotion to your optimization strategy for copy and design, you want to highlight their results in your copy. You want to focus on solving their specific pain. You want to leverage copy formulas in order to write high converting copy and use design that supports and elevates your emotional message. And you want to ensure that emotion is consistent throughout the entire page and everything that you do in your customer journey. Finally, we have a proof-like checklist. Are you making it about yourself or your prospect? Can people see and feel emotional outcomes they desire? Are you using emotion in both your copy and your visuals? And can people immediately see the why? My best way to end this is stop asking yourself, what is your goal? And start asking, what is your customer's goal? Because only when your customer achieves their goal will you achieve your own.